Since 2009, Samantha Fish has been in a kind of perpetual motion. She's released 6 solo albums showcasing her original songs and stellar blues guitar. She's also toured relentlessly across the U.S. and overseas. Samantha is gaining momentum in her increasingly busy career, which may be why her 7th album is called Faster. This is Love Letters, Samantha Fish live from New Orleans.
Oh, my sweet little sexy babe, why can't you sleep on the side of me? Why can't I breathe so easily? Hey, don't you know what you do to me? Your pack of smokes and your pocket change are all I got when you go away. Hurts my heart, but I can't complain. I would have done this anyway. You and I, we can rule this world together. You and I'll pull you in, but I know better. I'm drowning in love letters, heavy love like I can't measure. I'm drowning in love letters, Oh, my sweet little sexy babe, keep waking up in this bed I made. Forget the pain when you wanna play. I'm back to broken when you go away. You and I, we can rule this world together. You and I'll pull you in, but I know better. I'm drowning in love letters, heavy love like I can't measure. I'm drowning in love letters, think I should know better. I'm drowning in love letters, heavy love I can't measure. Drowning in love letters, like something so sweet, be so like something so real, make me feel just like a fool. You and we can rule this world together. You and I'll pull you in, but I know better. I'm drowning in love letters, heavy love like I can't measure. I'm drowning in love letters, think I should know better. I'm drowning in love letters, heavy love I can't measure. Drowning in love letters, my love.
Samantha's passion for music began in Kansas City, Missouri, fertile ground for jazz and blues talent. That's where she was born and raised, and where her dreams fell into place.
I love Kansas City. I mean, I can't say enough good stuff about Kansas City. I mean, there was like an open mic night or a blues jam every night of the week, and as like a kid coming up, I just go out there and sit in like every night of the week. And Kansas City is a really long history with jazz and blues, so there's this like tradition there. I really felt like that was a good place to be nurtured and to grow as an artist. And I love going back to play there too. I started on drums when I was 13. And, you know, my dad played, all of his friends played, all my uncles played, my sister played. So everybody was playing guitar, so I kind of like rebelled against that and didn't want to do it, but it was just always there. And I just sort of kind of like felt pulled to it. And I think secretly I wanted to like front a band and sing, but I was very shy and like a nervous kid. I feel like I found my personality and voice through playing guitar and singing and writing. And I think that having that drumming background really helped me with that, with my rhythm, you know, just kind of set this innate clock. I wasn't ready when I got out on a stage to do it. I remember like my first ever sit-in on a blues jam, and it was my turn to take a solo, and I was just so freaking scared. And so, I mean, you just have to get out there and do it, and it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You know, but I think being on stage is what really helped me the most, is getting to go out there and honestly be on stage with a band and other musicians, because at that point now you're not just having a conversation by yourself in your basement or whatever, learning how to do it. You're with other people and you're feeding off of that energy. I'm always looking for that moment to kind of build it up to like the edge. You know, you want to build up to something. You don't want to just go for the glory note first thing out. You know, you want to build up to that so people can go with you. Take the little roller coaster ride. Most of my rock and roll heroes that I was like listening to the radios, like Zeppelin and Rolling Stones and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and everybody that I listened to, they were like blues fans. If you kind of dig back into their catalog, what really inspired and motivated them, you find, I mean, it goes all the way back to Delta blues. And so I just kind of started following that timeline back, and I found like Freddie King and, you know, Muddy Waters, of course, and I get to Skip James and like Charlie Patton. I got really into where people first found their inspiration. And I connected a lot with like North Mississippi style blues and like Arl Burnside, Junior Kimbrough, and Howlin' Wolf. I loved his voice, Smokestack Lightning. But I was really into soul as well, like soul music. Like as a singer, I really grew up loving like, you know, Ray Charles, and Etta James, and Otis Redding, and, you know, Aretha Franklin. And it's nice just to throw on a record and it's like kind of reawakens what you love about it.
Say I'm your dream girl, drift away with me. We spread our wings and fly as far as we can see. But when you're ready, you go back to the ground, and I can't come down. If I could give up a happy ever after, I'd be gone. You could live up to the dreams that I've been having. I'd hold on. See, I'm your dream girl, come to your aid. I fight your demons as it was my own crusade. But in the morning when you go home, I face the darkness you will never know. If I could give up a happy ever after, I'd be gone. You could live up to the dreams that I've been having. I'd hold on. Well,
Musicians are nearly always attracted to New Orleans, and Samantha was no different. With 2 chart-topping albums and an armful of blues awards, she moved to the city in 2017.
I came here when I was a kid with my family, and I loved the city. And as I started getting out there and touring around, just always kept like gravitating to New Orleans, just like my soul, my heart. I feel like there's just such a deep well of inspiration and creativity here, and like the people and the culture and the music and just everything. I feel like there's just art everywhere. And it's hard not to be inspired when you live in a place that's just inspiring. New Orleans has a personality. I really don't think there's many cities in the U.S. that have a personality. You know, people here grew up around music. They know good music, and they're not afraid to to be like vocal if it's not up to par. The bar is very high. So I feel like the audiences are very discerning. They are dedicated, and they show up. They come out. Like music is life here. I love that. Okay, I'm ready. My first encounter with these guitars, I was in Helena, Arkansas. I might have been 17 or 18 at a King Biscuit Blues Festival. There were a lot of musicians playing, and I kept seeing people playing these guitars. I'm thinking, oh my God, that sounds so cool. It had such a raw, really interesting tone, and fast forward a few years later, I was playing there with my band, and I went out and I saw somebody selling them, and I just felt like it was like, oh, this is kind of like, you know, just good timing. I should just pick one up, and I plugged it into my show, and people loved it. And I haven't been able to get rid of it since. You know, people really seem to like it and connect with it, and I love this guitar. This is the first one I ever got. It's a cigar box body, basically, and I mean, people make them all different kinds of ways. I've seen some really creative designs. You know, there's so many great builders who come out to the festival or come out to shows, and I've received a lot of these, and this is just, it's my favorite one.
Got me trained, sit on a stage, not show my rage for ya.
If we rewind a couple years, there was a guy in town named Collins Kirby, and he was putting on the New Orleans Cigar Box Guitar Festival, and he reached out to have me come and play it. I don't know, it was really fun to kind of try and design a set specifically rallied around this, because I would only pull this out for a few songs, maybe 2 songs a night. It was fun, and it went really well, and he wanted us to come back, and we said, well, why don't we partner with each other and do this together, and we brought it here to Chickie-Wawas, and we brought it to the Howlin' Wolf, and it's kind of this multifaceted event.
I'm turning on you, I'm turning on you, I'm turning on you, but you're bulletproof, I turn it on you, turn it on you, turn it on you, but you're bulletproof.
It's really cool because it's not just musicians coming to play, there's builders that come. It's kind of like a workshop. I mean, they're really, really creative. They come up with some of the most like unique looking instruments. We saw somebody come out with like a washtub bass. I saw somebody bring in a little boat oar. The folklore behind this is like, it's a lot of homemade kind of ingredients, I guess. You know, people creating guitars out of stuff they have around. And I think that's where it started, and that's kind of what's celebrated about it. Homemade instruments.
In March 2020, the whole world stopped. The novel coronavirus pandemic prompted lockdowns, disrupting every aspect of life. For Samantha Fish, this meant finding a new approach to making music and connecting with her fans.
I was no longer a touring musician, just kind of like a stationary one. It was weird. I mean, I think it took me a few months to really realize, like, oh, this is happening, and we're not going anywhere for a long, long time. We had a lot of dates on the calendar, a lot of shows, a lot of festivals. We were in Europe when everything shut down. We were halfway through a tour, so we had to jump off of that. You know, I'd never left a tour, incomplete like that. So personally, I mean, it was really hard to watch everybody go through this, and but I definitely spent all my time writing. I found a producer, and I started collaborating with my co-writing partners over Zoom, and I wrote an album and went and recorded it in December. But every bit of the pre-production was done via like Zoom, and it was really interesting doing it that way, but I tried to make the most of it. I mean, it still feels weird to not been touring for so long, because really I'm a touring artist. I've been touring for my entire career. So that was really strange. It was really the first time I have been in one spot to write like an album. Usually I'd be on the road, and so I'd be trying to find little places in between shows, from hotel rooms and in the car, but going from place to place. I found it challenging in some ways, but it was really, for me, kind of cool to get to focus all my energy into it and challenge myself to grow. The sound is different from anything I've done so far, and I'm really excited about that.
Welcome to Samantha Fish Fridays, Facebook Live. I'm Samantha Fish. I'm gonna play a few songs for you today that I've never...
When the pandemic first started, I was doing like every Friday live streaming from my house, like just acoustic stuff, just for fun and to keep up. And I don't know, it was so weird. You're playing the little camera on your laptop, and it just doesn't quite feel the same.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in today.
I was really scared when I played my first show back, because I'm like, can I still do it? It's been so long, I missed it. I missed it a lot. You miss feeding off of the energy from the audience. You miss that interaction, because there's really that's what it's all about, It's a transfer of energy, and, we're putting something out, but we get something back too. And without that, I mean, yeah, we just might as well be playing to the little screen on the laptop. People need live music. It's this universal, connected, it connects people. And when you can make it happen, it feels great. I mean, there's no better feeling to me on earth. It's why I do it.
Stacked up all my sins, I push, you won't give in. I must confess to this broken heart, 'cause I've been picking locks and moving through the dark. I know you're here, but you feel so far. You and I can never talk about it. You and I can never talk about it. Love's no bluff, you can't play it alone. Caught up singing someone else's song. I said all the words I needed to say when I said goodbye. 'Cause a cage but never flies. Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't you cry for me. I only never had the key to set you free, so you can begin to soar so high above.